Alright guys, this is a quick breakdown of the two trailers, Modern Warfare 3 that were released at E3, the demo and the trailer. I talk a little bit about the Spec Ops video Hutch did and just the rest of the game. Sorry if it's a little off for me. Live commentary while trying to watch the trailer was a little difficult. Sorry. And I have a little bit of a cough and I had to clear my throat a couple times. Sorry for that, but otherwise, I guess these videos are okay. I just talk about the guns or whatever, and you guys can watch the trailers and go through them and pause it and do whatever. It's both of them together, so you know, and no copyright was meant to be infringed or anything, so hopefully my video stays up. Thank you guys for watching this. Leave me a comment, rate, subscribe. You guys are the best. I'm bringing more every week. Thank you guys. Peace. Alright, so here you're waiting for the sub. And I skipped through the first part of the video because there isn't any real action happening. You're just swimming through an old destroyed underground highway. That's pretty much it. And so you latch onto this sub here with some mines, and then you blow the sub up. That's pretty much the beginning of the mission. After you've swam on up there, there's JD 2020, I believe, or is that 4021? Either way, Call of Duty Community Manager. Big head honcho dude with all the say. They usually make the announcements about like guns and stuff unless the information is leaked. So actually what I found is the hold or push X or A or Y or B or look really, I think they look better than they did in the previous Call of Duty games. Before they just kind of looked like the button did on the controller, which I didn't really like. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal or anything, obviously. Sorry. But I like it better in this game. It looks more customized, and here you get a Michael Bay shot of, I think, New York Harbor? I don't know my states of America, because I live in Canada with my polar bear. But yeah, here you get up, and what I've been told, I've found out, is not actually the MP5. You have the MP5K, but it sounds and handles a lot like the MP5, or so it seems. You have the Modern Warfare 2 red dot. And as for campaign characters, you're playing as this guy whose nickname is Frost. As you see right up here, you have another guy named Sandman. There's a couple other names that go by there, but that guy to your left, right there, he's Sandman. That's his code name. You can see it there, show up. And see the hold X button? I think that looks a lot better than it did before, but that could just be me. And now here you start going into the sub, and you guys basically clear out the sub, and I believe you fire the missiles from the sub at the end of this mission. So I think they cut the video coming up here just for time saving purposes. You have the AK-74U with red dot sight there, which would probably be the same sight as the one that's on your MP5. I'm assuming that's red dot, as we've already seen holographic. That P90 has it. Holographic is in the other trailer, which I'm going to do right after this, and I'm going to upload them probably together. If not, there'll be a second video coming up right after this one, or right before this one. I'll talk about it in that video too. That's another AK-74, another P90. Sorry guys, very not so clear throat today. And I think right here is where they cut it, if I'm right. Yeah, in the interest of time, because the mission is obviously a little bit longer than they show in the demo. So you come back, and the sub seems to be on a little bit of a red alert here. It looks pretty frantic. And here's the automatic shotgun I talked about in my other video. Might be an AA-12, like an updated version, I don't know. It looks really cool though. They blast the door in. I'm really only doing this not to critique the trailer or anything. I'm just talking about the guns and going through the trailer and showing you guys where the guns are and stuff. So if I'm talking really lame about the actual trailer, it's because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to talk about the guns, like this automatic shotty. Looks pretty cool. Right up here, he walks over a G18, which you guys will be able to see flash on the screen. That guy had a G18. You walk over his body, and then you, there's a little cutscene sort of deal, and there's the G18, and you go through a little cutscene sort of deal, and then you guys blow up the the missiles, or you launch the missiles or whatever. And I want to put out a thank you to Controller Chaos for putting this video up on YouTube for me to use. it's kind of useful to me actually. Hopefully the audio isn't too loud on the video. I tried to turn it down so you guys could hear me well. But yeah, that's the mission. When you look back, the guy's already gone, which I'm kind of confused about because you both turn the keys at the same time. You look back and he's already up the ladder. Like, what the heck? But yeah, you get another Michael Bay moment. There's crazy like destruction, and the city's destroyed, and the boats are going down, and you see a boat crash while you're swimming through the ocean earlier. It's just showing off the World War III chaos here, and I think it's kind of interesting that they're doing a World War III. That's a very touchy subject, I guess, and doing that in a game is that's never truly been done as World War III. A realistic World War III. I mean, there's been games that make it seem like there's a world war, but sometimes it's really unrealistic and everything. So I think this is a really interesting thing here, and you're swimming through all these boats that are getting blown up by your missiles. I'm assuming they're Russian boats, because why would you launch some missiles to blow up your own boats? You got a damaged aircraft carrier down, and here you got to shoot these guys off the boat, showing off the automatic shotgun. It has a decent range in campaign anyway. I hope it doesn't translate so much over to multiplayer, because that was a goodish range for an automatic shotgun. That might be a little bit unfair. So hopefully they dial back the range on the shotguns from campaign and Spec Ops to multiplayer. In the second part of this video, in the other trailer, I'm going to talk more about the guns that I've heard about, because I've watched videos on people who play the E3 trailer of Spec Ops, and they talk about the guns, so I can kind of I can gauge a little better at what guns are going to be like and everything. So I'll talk about that then, because this trailer is coming to a close. You get on a helicopter and you fly away, and you have another Michael Bay moment over the water as you fly past New York City, I believe, and you see all the destruction and chaos that's going on. Doesn't look very fun there in New York. Everyone's probably like, oh my god, what's going on? Not very fun. You see all the helicopters and the fighter jets, really setting this up to be an epic game. Thank you guys for watching. Alright guys, this is the Black Tuesday mission. You're playing as Delta Force. It doesn't specify which person you're playing as, which I thought was kind of interesting. You're just kind of part of the task force, I guess. Sorry if there's any lag in this video. I'm doing them off YouTube, as I said in the earlier part. So coming out of this helicopter, I believe it's a helicopter, maybe it's a Humvee. Either way, coming out of it, you have an M4, and you get another Michael Bay moment. I'm going to talk about those a lot. I mention a lot of Michael Bay references because, man, oh man, does it look a lot like a Michael Bay film. Quality's better on this video, so I'm sorry about the last video. It was the best quality I could really find. So, you start off, you're trying to get your way to the stock exchange, which means I believe you're in New York. The New York Stock Exchange. You have an M4 with a holographic sight, and you can see that thing on the right of your gun, that big scope looking thing. You gotta thinking like, what the heck is that big, stupid, ugly thing doing over there? And what it does is when you flip it over like that, it increases the zoom range of your holographic sight, which I think is pretty interesting. If they put that in multiplayer, that'd be a very interesting gun to use. And there's an AK-47 there. If you look at that, let's go back and look at that AK-47 for a second. Let's see here. So you're going through, and AK-47 there, looks pretty snazzy. The gun picture doesn't really give anything away there, but it doesn't look different compared to Modern Warfare 2 or 1. I hope they put in the Modern Warfare 2 or 1 iron sights. I liked the Black Ops ones, but they weren't as good as the other ones for me personally. And up here you see a P90 with ACOG. I'll go back for that, I guess, too. Oh, just missed it. So you go back and you have the P90 with ACOG sight. P90 looks pretty much the same as well. A little picture probably doesn't give too much away though, unfortunately. AK-47 with silencer with ACOG. I don't think I need to go back for that. That was fairly visible. So there's going to be 2 attachments on lots of guns in campaign, so hopefully they bring the bling perk back for multiplayer. I don't see why they wouldn't. It was never a real problem. Another just plain AK-47. I believe that's pretty much most of the guns. AK-47 Silence with ACOG again. I think that's pretty much most of the guns for this mission. We've yet to see any LMGs, actually, which I would like to see. I would like to see what LMGs they're putting in it, because LMGs were fairly fun to use in some of the Call of Duty games, like there's an M4, there's a couple M4s on the ground there if you guys saw. The RPD was really fun to use in both Modern Warfare series games, and those are frag grenades, so we're definitely seeing the return of frags, which only makes sense. I've yet to see Semtex, but those were also a fairly big success, and they were in Black Ops, so chances are they'll be in Modern Warfare 3. It only makes sense, really. Um, The return of the riot shield is a big question. I think at this point they've said the riot shield is not in the game. I'm sorry if I sounded really loud there. I was getting kind of close to my laptop. But I heard the riot shield at this point was not in the game, but I could be wrong. Some of these are just rumors. Um, a couple confirmed things I have heard from E3 people who played the Spec Ops demo. The ACR is in it, and in Spec Ops it's got like no recoil. But it has been said that recoil is going to change for some guns from campaign and Spec Ops over to multiplayer, so chances are the ACR will be given some recoil, as many people complained about it in Modern Warfare 2 being super precise, like an automatic sniper rifle, as people would say. Um, the MP5K is back. As I said, it's not the MP5. The Hutch found that out over playing Spec Ops. I watched Hutch's video and he was talking about it. He said the guns recoil more than Modern Warfare 2, which I think is good. Modern Warfare 2 could have used a little more recoil. It kind of gave people with no skill a little bit more of not an advantage, but a better chance against people who had been more good at Call of Duty, which I thought was kind of lame, because Call of Duty was all about a learning experience when I first started, and I thought it was kind of fun being owned and slowly seeing myself get better and better. But yeah, Call of Duty veterans who like the Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 1, Hutch said, you should be happy with the way the game feels and plays. It feels very much like Modern Warfare 2, except the recoil is supposed to be a little more interesting. And here, if you didn't see that, I'm going to go back for that. What's called a 9-bang. Now, this is a new secondary grenade, which I don't know will be on multiplayer or not, but when you watch him throw it and just watch what happens, it sets off 9 mini little flashbangs, or so it seems, so that's kind of interesting. A bunch of mini little flashbangs instead of one big bang. You got 9 mini bangs, which is kind of interesting. And again, they cut here in the interest of time because the missions seem to be fairly lengthy, which I like. Hopefully the campaign is a little longer than usual. And here we see a new weapon. I forget what it's called. I used to know the name of it. I'll try and put an annotation in when I remember, or if I remember. It's basically a secondary grenade launcher. It actually fires grenades a long distance, or maybe they're rockets. Actually, what they were saying, sorry, I saw an interview with one of the game devs and JD, and what you do is you aim somewhere, and what it does is it fires the missile or the grenade or whatever approximately 1 meter behind what you aimed at, as long as you aimed high enough. It fires at 1 meter, and then when the thing explodes, it explodes backwards. So you can fire it over barriers or under barriers, and it will explode backwards. So if there's enemies behind it, it's a very useful tool and very interesting, actually. They were talking about how the U.S. military or the military has been using technology like that recently, and I found that to be very cool. And hopefully that translates well into multiplayer if they put it in not so noob-tubey like Modern Warfare 2. I don't want to see like rockets flying behind me a meter and then exploding in my back every 2 seconds, because that would just be painfully annoying. And here they've made it to the stock exchange, and they go through. You can see the guy extend the sight on it again on the holographic. It's used just up ahead. I think that feature is really cool. I wonder if that'll be a second perk. There's another 9-bang. I wonder if that'll be like, you can put on holographic and then extended. extend the holographic, or if that'll just be included with holographic, or it'll be holographic on certain guns, kind of like how the ACOG was on the not the L96, the L86 in Modern Warfare 2, how its ACOG sight was different from everyone else's. I wonder if the M4 will have a different extended range, or if the extended range will be on all the assault rifles. I think that would make sense. I wouldn't mind that. We see noob tubes are back in campaign there. If you saw, it said AK-47 Grenadier. Um, they said there's no one-man army, there's no commando, um, so that's good. They got rid of the two most offensive perks in my opinion. And yeah, so I guess I just kind of formulated that theory, but I'm hoping the extended range holographic sights are put in on the assault rifles. I don't think that would become useful on anything else, except maybe light machine guns, but the way they recoil might be a little much. The mission is starting to come to an end. There's still a couple minutes left, I believe. Um, as you see, yeah, there's a couple minutes. There's like 3 minutes left. Your guy goes up here, and you're out on the roof of the stock exchange building. And here's where you see the first of what seems to be destructible environments, which I'm hoping translates over to multiplayer. Not completely destructible, but there's things that you can blow up to make new pathways or whatever. I think that would be really cool. So you switch over to your, I don't know what this thing is called, and you aim up at that, and it blows it up, and then that thing's done. The knife is back in, which makes perfect sense. I don't know why it wouldn't be in campaign, though I wish it didn't do so much in multiplayer, because I think it's a little lame. And right here, what you guys see is as this guy comes up, right there, oh, I went a little too far. Okay, let's go back and watch that one last time. Sorry about that, that was a little messed up with the skipping. Spaz 12 looks like the old Modern Warfare 2 Spaz 12, not the Black Ops Spaz. I'm pretty excited for that. Hopefully the range translates well over to multiplayer. I hope it isn't as crazy as I said in my other video. I hope the shotgun's ranges are, I don't know what the word is, not, well, unextended could make sense. Another 9-bang goes off. And I think that's all the guns you see for this trailer. But we'll finish watching it, just watch the rest of the campaign mission. Again, this is Black Tuesday. You're playing as what I believe is a third-party mercenary group that the U.S. military hires to do work for them. Or maybe the U.S. military has a group called Delta Force. I really couldn't tell you, as I'm Canadian and I haven't done that much research on the Delta Force and everything. But yeah, the guns look cool. I talked about it. These are the two trailers. I broke them down a little bit. I didn't go super in depth. Just wanted to show you guys the guns. I'll be talking about perks sometime during next week. I'll talk about perks list that has been released. I'll show you guys some of the perks. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, rate, comment. Oh, actually, one last thing before this trailer wraps up in a minute. There is one last weapon, well, I'll call it a weapon. It's called a Reaper drone, as I talked about. And it seems to be a Predator missile that you can aim before you fire. I don't know if that's coming on multiplayer, but if it is, I think that's really cool. I believe I talked about that. How you'll have to choose between firing it right away and then aiming, or just blindly firing it. I just said that, I'm a retard. Or aiming it before you fire it, because in multiplayer that'll give people a chance to move if you go to aim it, and if you don't aim it, that gives you a chance to miss, which I think is kind of cool. I hope that's in as like a 6-kill streak or something. I think that would be good. As I was saying, rate, comment. I'm bringing this stuff like weekly, easily. As more information comes out, I'm going to be posting more and more on Modern Warfare 3. Every time there's a small rumor, JD20 posts something on his Twitter, I'm going to bring it for you guys. It's going to be real good. Thank you guys for watching this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.